Hey everyone, welcome to the All Staff Meeting video. I wanted to have everybody in person. I miss seeing all of your smiling faces and being able to joke around with all of you together, but it does not seem like the right time with the recent spread of COVID that we've had. So I figured this would be a lot better to keep people safe and still get out all the information that we need to get out. As I said in my email yesterday, question mark. We will be sending out the notes or the agenda for this meeting, along with some follow-up information, including some of the new policies and benefits explanation, a one sheet essentially for all the new benefits that we're rolling out that will come along in an email with this video. So you will all be required to watch this video, read through the information, and send me a follow-up or send an email to me with an answer to some of the questions from it in order to get credit. So you each get an hour for being at this meeting, essentially, by watching this video. Welcome to my balcony. It's a nice day out, so I figured I'd shoot outside rather than inside. You can see my garden right over here. Got some peas, got some beans, got some cherry tomatoes, and hopefully that will be a squash at some point. We'll see. The last time Sarah and I did squash, it turned into a feeding ground for squash bugs. So those are pretty gross and don't want to get those again. So starting off right away, I'm going to go through the agenda here that I said I'm going to email out to everybody. And it's harder than I expected it to be to read the computer screen with sunglasses on. So bear with me. There we are. First things first, we have some announcements to make. One is that we have a new shift leader, Shayla. So everybody congratulate Shayla next time you see her. She's going to be coming into the shift leader role soon. And then also Abby, who I'm sure all of you have met at some point as one of our day drivers right now, will also be moving into the shift leader role. So congratulations to her as well. From there, one small event that we're going to be doing. I don't have a whole lot of PR and marketing updates to give to you at the moment, but one thing that we're going to be doing, nothing major, but this upcoming Friday is Canada Day. It's the basically Canadian Independence Day, as far as I can tell. So Richard from Ledger had asked that we do some Canadian style pizza. So we're going to do a poutine pizza and our just a ham and pineapple. Technically, we're going to get Canadian bacon for it, but had a whole conversation with Richard today about how Canadian bacon is a misnomer because in Canada they just call it ham. So nothing too crazy. We're just going to be having some poutine and the ham and pineapple or Canadian bacon pineapple pizzas, and then also some Labatt's Blue back on tap for Canada Day. Food-wise, we have a couple weekly specials coming up. We have the harissa veggie, which is a roasted veggie, I believe with a hummus base, unless we've changed it up this time around, and then harissa seasoning, which is a Middle Eastern spice blend. We also have the bacon cheeseburger coming after that, which is one of the more popular specials that we have, and one of my favorites. I always forget how great it is until I try it again. One thing, please do not snack on the pickles. We don't get that many of them, and we make them ourselves. They're super good, but keep them for the pizzas, please. We're also going to be having a new a new seasonal salad, I should say, that will have strawberries on it. Same thing. Use them for your salad if you're making a salad, but please do not snack on the strawberries. A couple brief things for general operations. One thing that's come up recently is dough trays. So front of house and delivery, if you're doing dishes, please help the cooks with dough trays. Help them get them out of there quickly. There's no reason that you can't help. Yes, it is the cook's responsibility to do them and to get them done, but there's no reason that you need to stop doing dishes just because they're coming to do dough trays. Help them, get them through the line or through the dish pit quicker and out of there, so they can be out of the whoever else is working on dishes' way. Everybody can help in this process. It's not just the cooks. So I'm not sure where that is coming from, but just make sure that we are all on the same page for that everybody can help with the dough trays. Next, please, I sent an email about this just a couple days ago, but no eating in the front of house, period. You can eat in the dining room. You can eat in the back if you're tucked away. You can eat in the back of house as long as you're not by food prep at the time. It's against health code to be eating around food that is going to be served. So that's just full stop the rule. It also just doesn't look good for us to be eating in front of customers, right in front of, right before, right around their food. So I don't know who needs to hear this exactly, but please keep in mind that it's just not, it's totally against food code, or against health code, I should say. On location, so we're kind of winding down with graduation parties, but weddings are just ramping up. If you are interested in helping out with catering, Jeff is the catering supervisor. He's the one running most of the catering events. I've been helping him out. Zach's been helping him out with a good amount of them. If you are interested in helping with catering, this is the time to let us know. Let either me or Jeff know right away, and we can get you involved. I know, Johnny, you reached out. So anybody else who's interested, please let me know. It's pretty fun. Get in, get out. It's fast pace and pretty straightforward. The tips are pretty damn nice. All right, now the biggest parts of this staff meeting, and the things that I really want to make sure everybody is paying attention to and taking, this is the biggest takeaway from this video. New benefits. So essentially, these are already in place. This has already started. The first change that happened this past payroll were two different things. One, everybody got a 50-cent raise in all positions. This is for any position that, or I'm sorry, any if you have multiple positions, multiple pay rates, all of the pay rates went up 50%. We also now have a $16 per hour guarantee minimum for all positions, meaning outside of delivery, which I'll get to in a minute. So $16 an hour will be for non-tipped positions, meaning prep or, well, essentially prep is the big one that is affected for us. As I mentioned, then delivery drivers, we've increased our minimum guarantee to $20 per hour, which doesn't really, it is most of our drivers pretty much all make $20 per hour already, but just to make sure if there are slower shifts for drivers that they are still making their $20 per hour on average. We've also increased the run compensation to help accommodate for gas prices increasing because they're just stupid right now. So instead of being a flat dollar per run, it's now 50 cents plus 25% of a gallon of gas per order. This is updated quarterly. So as gas prices fluctuate, hopefully they come down again, but as they fluctuate, we will be able to, or we will fluctuate the per run compensation. So currently this sets it at 50 cents plus $1.20. I'm sorry, $1.21, which would be $1.71 per run at the moment. Next, we were also starting to add $2 pay differential for holidays and blackout days, and I'll explain the blackout days in a second here. But the final list of holidays covered is yet to come. Yes, 4th of July will be on this pay differential or the holiday pay rate. So anybody working on 4th of July will get an extra $2 per hour day. This also stacks on top of the late night differential. So I know late night differential is minimal at our store versus the downtown locations that are open later. But this will, so for example, if you're working on this upcoming Monday for the 4th of July, after 10 o'clock, you will be earning $4 additional per hour. $2 for the entirety of the day, and then $4 after 10 o'clock. If you have questions about this, let me know. I did mention blackout days, and really what this means is for our downtown locations again, since they have days like Mifflin or Halloween, days when we really need people, we can't have people asking off, just days where we expect everybody to be able to work downtown again, as I said. Those are also $2 an hour additional. We will pretty much the only events that we'll have like that are like Epic, and it's more going to be those people that are out working at Epic will get the $2 additional since it's also untipped. Okay, the next thing then is that our paid time off is being rewritten a little bit. So it'll be accrued by both full-time and part-time employees, meaning that everybody will get PTO. It's accrued by the hours worked per pay period. So PTO can be used after it's accrued and only after it's accrued. You can get up to 40 hours of PTO, and it can be rolled over into the next year. I'm sorry, up to 40 hours of PTO can be rolled over into the next year if it's not used. So it's not going to be use it or lose it anymore. I know that so this accrual will start on the day of hire or your anniversary each year. In addition to this, we're also going to be adding accrued sick and mental health time. So similar to PTO, this will be accrued by hours worked per pay period and can be paid out by the hour for time missed at work when manager approved coverage is found by the employee. Meaning if you're sick and you get coverage for your shift, you can get paid for the hours missed. Essentially, this is a way to help you get paid even when you can't work and help reduce the number of shifts that go understaffed due to last minute call outs. So it just helps incentivize you getting your shifts covered, essentially. This is also a time for a reminder that employees, you are expected to find coverage for your shifts, and it will be a write-up if you're not able to, which we're going to get into the new string policy in a little bit here, which will help everybody make sure that everybody understands the finer details of tardiness and all of that. Serious emergencies can always be considered on a case-by-case basis by me, but the general expectation is that if you are sick and you cannot work, you need to get your shift covered. We will always help you. We're happy to help. We're happy to try to be nimble and figure out where the flexibility is in the schedule and who can move to what position and how we can do what we need to do to get your shifts covered. But it is everybody's responsibility to get their shifts covered. And then based on the new PTO plan, sorry, just shifting gears a little bit, based on the new PTO plan, most people currently receiving PTO will probably end up with more total PTO than the old plan. And the details of this are still, sorry, I'm just going to pull up this other sheet here. The details of what the exact um, uh, what the exact accrual is per pay period um, is going to be 2% of the time worked. So for every paycheck or every pay period, I should say, you will start to accrue 2% of those hours as PTO that you can use. And we'll have more of the process as far as like how you request off PT or request PTO and all of that soon and very soon. But I just want to get everybody the information now as we continue to roll all this out now that these are finalized and decided new benefits. Lastly, new benefits. I know some of you have been around for bonuses, which is profit sharing. We will be we will be instating profit sharing for leadership, so managers, shift leaders, and tier 3, and then for any employees that have been around 5 years plus. And this will most likely be on a semi-annual basis. Okay. Also more of the final details of that to come, but that will be how that will be rolled out. All right, and then the next thing that I want to talk about is our string policy and new and improved string policy to be more precise. So we have all of you have at some point been written up for something, more or less, and I want to start using the string policy not just as a disciplinary action, but also to help reinforce good behavior and to honestly just help reward people. So we've renovated the string policy, and now you will start with 4 strings, but you can get up to 6 strings on a each 6 months. I believe is what the every 6 months you'll be able to get up to 6 strings. Excuse me. There are some actions that you can do to earn either earn strings back or to continue to earn more or earn up to above 4 strings up to 6. The majority of the things that people get written up for are the same. The big thing just being attendance and being on time. We don't have this policy in place to it's not to harp on people. It's just to make sure that people are not being taken advantage of or that people are not taking advantage of the tardiness policy, excuse me. So there will be, for tardiness level 1, which is 1 to 10 minutes late, the first will be 0 strings. If it happens again, repeated, then it will be a string. Tardiness level 2, which is 10 over 10 minutes late, that will be 1 string if notice is given. Without notice would be 2 strings. At absence with sufficient notice, meaning you told us, hey, I'm not going to be able to work today, at least an hour in advance before the shift starts, that's 2 strings. And then no call, no show, just absence without notice, essentially a blown shift, will still be 3 strings. So those all are the same, with the change now of having a 0 string policy for the first time you're a couple minutes late. Um, Another thing added to this is um, less so. Well, I'm going to send this out to everybody, so please read through this so you have a good idea of what the attendance uh, expectations are. Um, in order to get these shifts back, there are a couple different things that you can do in order to earn strings back. And as I said, you can get up above up above 4 strings, up to 6 strings. You can only do that once every 6 months, so you can't just keep getting back, going down to 1 string and then earning back up to 6 strings each time by just continually being late. That's kind of the opposite of the idea here. But in order to get some strings back, you can sign up for a deep clean shift with your department manager, picking up a shift for another employee. So that doesn't necessarily mean swapping shifts, or it necessarily means not swapping shifts, but picking up for somebody. And then coming in last minute when a manager sends out an SOS to staff, if we're getting hit hard for whatever reason, coming in to help out the team. There's some information here about meeting and class attendance. And then the biggest part, the part that I'm most excited about, is the performance strings that you can earn back. The braking stuff is all still the same. However, now we've added ways to earn back strings, and this will be assessed by shift leaders, or I should say pointed out by shift leaders and then assessed by me. So excellent quantity or quality of work. So just doing an exceptional job when a shift leader seeing that and giving you a string for doing so. Great attitude. Checking in with the supervisor or shift leader for additional tasks. No complaints. Completing all assigned work. Attentive to customers. Similar to that, going above and beyond with customer service. So really using our 4 keys of customer service to potentially, a good example would be taking a customer concern or problem and creating a positive experience from there. Action taken to correct food quality issues. So, cooks, noticing that something's up. Like we've been using grilled onions for an hour. That just something's weird about it. So going and making sure that we get rid of all of this schmo that we have at the time and start fresh, or vice versa. Cook or the front of house, noticing that something's up with the dough. Something tastes off. Accountability. When others are not living up to our standards or not working by our standards, letting them know that it's not cool. That we all try very hard here. And that's what makes us great as a staff, is that we do give a shit, and that we make sure that others know if they're not pulling their weight, in a polite way, in a friendly way, in a professional way, but just holding other people accountable. At the same time, you holding yourself accountable for coming clean, like, hey, I messed this up or whatever. Promotion. So you get a string back if you're cross-trained into a different department, or if you move up a tier in cook training. Also, pizza props or employee of the month. This is one thing that is changing. Our pizza props have always been focused on our employees. We're now shifting it to customers as well. Not that you guys aren't great, but we have some pretty great customers too. I know Justin is going to be top of the list for us on that. So that's it. Also will be a way to get a string. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. The new string Documentation is really going to be the word. It's not going to be a write-up anymore. It's going to be a string documentation, because it's going to go both as um, disciplinary action, but also as praise and attaboys for doing good and modeling the values that we truly try to live by as a staff. That will be sent to you, the new string policy, in addition to the new benefits one sheet. I expect everybody to have a lot of questions about these. I can already hear them a little bit, and have heard questions about them for a couple weeks as we've been, or about, I guess, month and a half now since my last email. So if you have questions, feel free to email me directly. That can be part of the follow-up email that you send about this video. You also, we can talk in person. We can do whatever we got to do in order to get you the information on this. The last thing that I'm going to leave everybody with is that we are going to be looking for a new finance rep. Plumley is no longer going to be working as the finance rep. It's just time for them to focus on some other aspects of the store. And so that will leave their spot vacant as the finance rep. I know there are some of you who are interested already. So please, that will be another thing I ask, is that you, in your follow-up email, let me know if you're interested, and we'll set up an interview with me, you, and Jack, our finance director for the Madison cluster. That's all I got. Thank you guys for continuing to kick ass. You guys are all pretty great. I know that I try to tell you all that as much as I can on shift. So I would also encourage you guys to, along the same lines of our new string documentation, take the time to tell your coworkers when they're doing well. Try to lift each other up and really encourage each other and help each other improve. It's easy to focus on busy shifts and focus on things that go wrong. But I hope that you all know that the reason that we focus on our training as much as we do is to get us through the busy shifts and busy times, and that you are all capable of your position. So help each other recognize that too on shift. Thanks, guys. That's all I've got. I will be sending, or as I said, the departments will be sending an email follow-up for you as well, and you should be looking for those from Stimmy, Haley, and Burns. Maybe Plum will even send something. They'll probably send something. They've usually got something to say. So, thanks, guys.